Hey guys, welcome back. This is History of Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 50 of my show. But this is about Episode 53. Now, before I start talking about it, I just want to mention something very, very quickly here. I'm only going to be doing probably one video this weekend just because of the fact that you see, the reason is tomorrow I'm going to see the movie A Wrinkle in Time, so depending on what time the movie starts and what time I go for the movie and what time I come back, I might not do a video tomorrow. So this might be the only one I do for this weekend anyway. But regardless, I'm still gonna post it. But anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. And since we're on episode 53, that means technically, now this is History of Power Rangers Season 1, episode 50 of my show, but this is about episode 53. And episode 53 in the original Power Rangers series is known as Foul Play. Oh, but before I start talking about it, I just want to mention that since we're on episode 53, that means, let's see, we've got, not counting 53, so 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, so about 7 more. We got like 7 more videos left, guys, until I got 7 more videos left until the end of the first season of Power Rangers for videos. I just wanted to get that out of the way, and I will probably put that in the description as well. I just wanted to get that out of the way before I started. Now again, as I stated, this is History of Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 50 of my show, but this is about episode 53. And episode 53 in the original Power Rangers series is known as Foul Play. Now, as the name of this episode states, what it means by foul play is it's not really, doesn't have to do with playing dirty. In this case, foul, it means like I believe this episode is, for the word fowl, it's spelled F-O-W-L, which basically is a way of saying a type of bird. So basically, as the name states, the Rangers are going to be fighting a bird-based monster in this episode. I just wanted to mention that. Anyway, basically the way this episode starts off is Zach is trying to impress Angela in this episode again by doing some tricks for the kids, basically, and in the youth center. And then after that, what basically happens with that is basically basically what happens after that is basically what happens after that, because you see in this episode for most of it until the parts where Zach leaves, he's wearing a magician's kind of outfit. I just wanted to mention that. Anyway, because he's performing some tricks for some kids at the youth center as a way to basically impress Angela, basically. And as I said, basically what happens after that is then after a little sorry if you see those in the video where I'm touching my ears. I just had some mineral oil placed in my ears. It's to clean the stuff out of my ears. So if you see me pressing on my ears a little, it's because of I just had a little bit of like mineral oil placed in the ear to get the dirt and stuff in there are cleaned out. So if you see me pressing a little, I apologize about that. Anyway, getting back into it. After Angela gets impressed with how Zach's performing some tricks at the school, like at the youth center with the kids, she gives them a little kiss on the cheek, which is like a peck on the cheek. Now that basically is what gives Rita the inspiration for her latest monster. And like basically what happens is after that, when she sees that Zach got a little peck on the cheek, she's like, "So Zach, like a little peck on the cheek, huh? I'll give him a peck." That I'm going to be bothered by it. Now, the reason why she says that is because the monster that she's going to send down is a monster that's sort of, it's another bird-based monster. It's the second, technically third if you count Hatchosaurus. This is the third bird-based monster that the Rangers will fight. So, I also think it's the last of the bird-based monsters, at least for this first season anyway. It's called the Peckster. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning it is, actually, before I mention about the monster's name, I'm just gonna reference something here. If any of you have watched the cartoon show Woody Woodpecker, I think that was partly I'm just mentioning that because the bird-based monster is called the Peckster, and it's sort of like a monster version of a woodpecker. I'm not really sure. And the only reason I'm mentioning that Woody Woodpecker cartoon is because it leads into a comedic ending at the end of the episode, which I'll explain after. When I get to that point, I just thought I'd mention it now, though, since I brought it up because of the monster. Anyway, basically what happens is, after that, basically what happens is Rita said that she'll give Zach a peck on the cheek that he soon won't forget, which basically, as I stated, is her way of saying that she'll send down her latest monster. And in this case, the monster... Now I'm going to mention about the monster. The monster that she sends down this time is known as the Peckster, which, as I stated, if you guys have watched the Woody Woodpecker cartoon, I'm just bringing that up again because I brought it up. Anyway, then Zach's in the youth center with the kids. After that, and then first what happens is when the Peckster monster is being created, Finster explains to Rita that he's created a bird monster that basically can destroy buildings with just a peck or two. And then, as I said, Rita decides to send it down to Earth. And then, basically, what happens is Zach's in the youth center with Angela and the kids, basically. And then he sees the news report. Because by this point in time, Rita had already sent the Peckster monster down to Earth, basically. And basically what happens is after that, after he watches the news report, he goes off on his own for a little bit to contact Zordon on his communicator. And then when Now this is gonna sound kind of funny, but in this case, when Zack contacts Zordon on the communicator, he makes a little bit of a joke where he says that he says, let him guess, we just hatched another bird brain scheme. And then Zordon says that the creature that Zack's referring to is called the Pexter, which basically, as I stated before, has the ability to destroy any building with just like a peck or two, and basically, and then basically what happens is, Zack, goes to fight with the Pexter monster on his own for the first part of this episode, but before he does that, he's gotta, figure out a way to, disappear without anyone seeing, morph to his ranger form. So, basically what happens is he tells Bulk that he's got a great idea for a magic trick, and Bulk can make him disappear. All he's gotta do is say the phrase, I am Ak Un, and then to bring him back, all he's gotta do is say the word Zack, and then basically, Bulk starts doing the thing to make Zack disappear. Well, what happens is, anyway, then he says, I am Ak Un, I am Ak Un, I am Ak Un. And then after the third time he says it, he realizes that what he's saying is basically means, I am a goon, basically. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, but that's kind of funny. And then after that, because before that, Zack had entered into the chamber thing to make it look like he disappeared, but he didn't. And basically what happens is after that, when Bulk realizes that he's gone, he tries to use the wand to get Zack back, but Zack didn't actually disappear. He just went to a different segment of the youth center to morph into his ranger form to deal with the Pexter monster. And then he goes to where the Pexter is, and then they start battling a little bit. And then the Pexter monster manages to blow Zack away using his wings, and basically what happens is after that, Pexter basically gets away, and then but before Zack leaves, he tells Pexter that he hasn't seen the last of him, and then that's when Pexter gets away. And then basically what happens after that is Zack contacts Zordon on the communicator and tells him about what happened with the Pexter monster, and then Zordon basically tells him that that the other Rangers can deal with the Pexter for now, because he doesn't want to arouse because he reminds Zack that he's got to get back to the youth center and be with the kids, because he doesn't want to arouse suspicion while he's gone, because if he's gone too long, they might figure out that he's the Black Ranger. So tactically, in this case, it kind of makes sense in this case. I mean, and then basically, then he goes back to the youth center, and then Bulk is trying to woo Angela, just like Zack did a couple of times in this first season, but Angela is telling that she wants to get Zack back because they tried to get him back using the words, but it didn't work. And then Bulk says that Zack is history, and then Zack manages to show up back in the youth center, And then basically what happens is after that the rest of the four of the six Rangers, I should say, go to deal with the rest of the Rangers, aside from Zach at this point, go to deal with the Pexter monster. And basically what happens is after that, they're fighting the Pexter, and then the Pexter manages to use his wings to blow them away, and then it goes back into where Zach is, because by this point he's already showed back up, as I stated, and then he's watching the news report on the television with the Pexter monster, and basically he's trying to reassure the kids that everything's gonna be okay. And then basically one of the kids is saying that he's not worried because he knows the Power Rangers will save them. And Zach says that he hopes so. And then basically what happens is after that, after a little while, Zach says that he'll try to do some magic tricks to keep them calm, basically. And then he's bouncing this ball. This black ball thing, and then that's when he figures out the way to defeat the Pexter monster, which has to do with these balloons. Now, a couple of them are balloons, and then the other one is this, is the ball that he was bouncing on the ground. And then basically after that, he goes with the other Rangers after a little while to deal with the Pexter monster. And then basically what happens after that is the Pexter, the rest of the Rangers are fighting the Pexter monster, and then basically after that Zach shows up and he shows the Pexter these balloons that he's got, but one of them is the ball that he was bouncing around, and the Pexter decides to use his beak to pop them, but when he goes to poke the ball, his beak gets caught in the ball. And then basically what happens is after that, they manage to knock the Pexter down a little, and then Rita makes the Pexter monster grow, and then the Rangers fight the Pexter in the Megazord, and then they manage to defeat it. And then, as I said, I'm guessing Rita gets upset that she lost again. And then basically what happens is after that, the Rangers are in their human forms and they're back in the youth center. And then basically what happens is the other Rangers are asking Zach what's with the getup, and then he tells them that he's got the whole thing planned for him and Angela, and then he explains that the day is gonna be some stuff, and then Angela shows up with the kids, and then she's wondering why he dressed up, because they're just going to the theater to watch a play, basically. And then after that, Zach's wondering what the play is after a little while, and then after that, Angela basically tells him that it's her favorite, like an hour showing on the Woody Woodpecker character, and then Zach gets a little depressed by that, and that's basically where this episode stops. Now, I think the reason why he gets depressed when he finds that out is because of the fact that they were fighting a bird-based monster called the Pexter this whole episode, so I think it's kind of ironic for an ending. I just wanted to mention that. Anyway, that's where this episode stops. So if you guys like this video when I post it, I am going to probably try to post it tomorrow, maybe because it's getting kind of late tonight, so I'll probably post it tomorrow. So when I do, just please give this video the real best you guys can, And I will see you guys probably, maybe, sometime next week for the next video. So until then, guys, just please give this video the real best you guys can. And I'll see you guys next time. And like I always tell you with this series, may the power protect you always.